Hey everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews, night 27 of the 31 Days of Horror. What I'm reviewing tonight is Exeter. This movie just came in the latest horror pack, so I decided to pop it in. It seemed interesting. Uh, the plot here is you start off with this guy, and he's working with this priest, and they're like fixing up this old asylum. And like he's a youngish guy, and it turned, it turns out this asylum has like a history and everything. But what ends up happening is a bunch of his friends and him, to an extent, decide to have a party there. So, party happens, everyone's getting drunk and everything, and then it's like let's try some like occult stuff, and weird stuff hits the fan. I'll leave it at that. Um, this movie's actually directed by Marcus Nispel, who did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake. And what I gotta say is, you can tell it's a Marcus Nispel film. I mean, I'll just say this: everyone remembers that famous scene from the Texas Chainsaw remake. I call it the gratuitous ass shot scene, where Jessica Biel or whoever's walking, pans up, get a shot of her ass and everything. That shot is pretty much mimicked in this. It's almost the exact same shot, except instead of it being outside, it's in a corridor. So that's I find that kind of funny. This movie, from what I can tell, didn't have the hugest budget, and you see that in the production. It's not highly polished, but there's some very nicely shot scenes in this. What this movie definitely does right is it takes the idea of like well, screw it. It's hard. It says it on the cover. It's an excellent day for an exorcism. It's an exorcism movie. So it takes all your basic exorcism tropes. But sort of the idea it goes with is like these people they're not priests. They're a bunch of like kind of like drunk teenagers who literally go to a do-it-yourself 10-step exorcism website to try to exorcise somebody. You know, it doesn't quite work, and then you end up going into like Evil Dead territory, which is kind of cool. What this movie does right is the acting for the most part's pretty solid. There's no overly bad actors or anything. Everyone's good. I'm not gonna say there's no real standout, but there's no real glaringly bad either, if that makes sense. Um, the effects in this are pretty decent. There are quite a few CG effects, but honestly, they don't take you out. There's a lot of practical gore, which is really good, really really good. There's even a scene in this that's ripped directly out of Dead Alive, so just take that for what you will. Uh, you know, great location. It was actually filmed in this Exeter asylum, which is like an actual like old asylum where you know bad shit happened. Um, so it's a great location. It really is. What this movie does wrong though, and there are a few problems with it. There are some plot holes in this. It's like, well, I'll put it this way: there's some plot holes and there's some pacing issues. The pacing issues, I'll get into this first, is let's put it this way: the person that gets possessed is possessed at like kind of like the 17-minute mark of the movie. So it doesn't even give you half an hour. It's like, here you go, possessed. You know, I guess it's probably a result of the budget. It's like, let's get exposition and everything. Let's get it out of the way. Get into the good stuff. I get it. But, honestly, this is a 91-minute movie, so it's like just over an hour and a half. This is one I actually would have preferred seeing maybe a 2-hour cut. I would have preferred seeing more, plot and like more character development and everything. Because a lot of these characters, this comes into where, like, the plot holes kind of like are. It's like the main girl in this and the main guy, they just apparently meet at this party. And then she's essentially like giving him advice on his brother at one point and everything. And I don't know, it just seems very forced and very quick. So I think, a bit longer cut and a bit more pacing would have freed that up a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, but those are my only real complaints about it. It's a pretty damn good movie. For rating, I'm giving it 6 out of 10. It's pretty good. Honestly, there's not much in here you haven't seen before, but it's well done, and it works. So yeah, Exeter, 6 out of 10, pretty good stuff. I'll try to find a trailer and leave it below, but that's it for now. See you next time.